Hello and welcome to another Tuesday Talk. My name is Killian and I am co-founder at Ruby Reese, and I will also be your host. Today we have a brilliant topic coming up, but before we get into that, I would like to thank you all for listening in. It's also not too late to go back and catch up on the previous episodes. Lots and lots of you have been thankfully giving us the feedback that you've gained a lot of value from those episodes, which is no wonder because we've had brilliant speakers and topics coming on as guests, and it's been absolutely fantastic so far. So thank you for joining our learning journey. One of the topics that both Chris and I at Ruby Reese have been thinking about this week has been kind of a lot about the importance of the relationship between human and dog. And I think this is something that keeps coming up in all sorts of different topics when you speak with canine behaviorists and trainers and anyone that works with dogs, on a daily basis. You see an awful lot about the relationship part, and it's a pity because I suppose in day to day we often kind of forget the importance of the relationship part, and it's quite easy to do, and we focus a lot on social conventions and on rules and on things someone once told us that would be a good idea, rather than thinking about building that relationship up. And I think it's really, really important, because relationship is not just about two beings kind of cohabitating. It, insinuates that you have a level of trust. It has, an idea of giving and taking. The idea of a relationship is that you both can benefit from it and that you're both there for each other as well. So I think that's really, really important to think about when you're trying to make you and your dog's life compatible and more enjoyable together. That the whole big idea that we keep hearing over and over again can easily be boiled down to, how about we give a good go at this together? It's let me take you by the hand or by the paw, and let's run off and give this day the best that we've got. And I think taking into consideration each other's abilities and wishes and all the rest of it, I think you can kind of compromise and create really, really great experiences with that mindset, with your pets in general. And I suppose I come to this topic a little bit because our overarching topic for today is dog agility, which of course is a dog sport, and dog sports can be suitable for lots and lots of people and dogs. Of course, there are many cases as well where they're not suitable, or that different ones suit different pairs. So it's definitely worth thinking about, because for building that relationship, because you're definitely you're setting out achievable goals, and you often have a community as well to help you get to those goals with any sorts of dog sports. And I suppose it was brilliant to speak with our guest, who you'll listen into that conversation shortly. But I spoke with Petra from Wellbehaved.ie all about dog agility, and it's fascinating that there's a whole sport that was originally a form of entertainment for humans, and now it's come to be this really great bonding experience for people of all abilities and everything. So I mean, before we even started recording, Petra was telling me that there's different heights. So it's suitable for different dogs, as in small, medium, and large. So your Bernese and your Chihuahua aren't likely to be in the same group. So it makes things a little bit fairer. And then there's different grades as well, beginning obviously at beginners and then moving up through different progressively more challenging grades as well. So it's really, really interesting that you can start something off. I would have never known before speaking with Petra how to get involved with something like agility. And I also would have said that there must be some specific type of breed that's really, really good at it. But Petra has done her very best to dispel all of the myths that I believed in before speaking with her. And it was a fascinating discussion about dog agility. I feel like I learned all about it. I'm sure Petra will tell me that we've only scratched the surface and that I have so much more to learn. But I invite you now to listen in to the conversation I had with Petra. So, Petra, thank you so much for joining me. Will you do us the pleasure of introducing yourself?
Thank you. Thank you for having me. So I'm Petra. As you can hear, I'm not from Ireland. I'm from Czech Republic, and I'm doing agility since 2012.
Brilliant. That was a brilliant introduction. And welcome to Ireland. I love Czech Republic. I've been there before myself. And I'm really, really excited to hear about our topic that we chose for this evening. So agility, and particularly agility for dogs. So what exactly is agility and how did it originate?
Agility is a team sport. The team is made from a dog and a handler, and it's quite similar to horse jumping, but it has some differences, of course. So it started back in time around 1970s in UK. They showed it filling up the gaps in the shows, like some interesting things to do with dogs. And the agility back in time was very, very different than it's now. So the dog didn't know basically what to do anything by himself. Like everything was done next to the handler's leg. And they were jumping through big obstacles and over the bushes. Basically, it looked like horse jumping, definitely.
Okay, so this is like entertainment and kind of showing off, look what we can train, and all of these amazing feats almost, right? And now it's moved more from entertainment more towards a sport, I guess, has it?
Yeah, it's like right now it's very professional sport. In many countries, it's actually already accepted as sports as such. I don't know if it's in Ireland. I don't think so. It's just, good activity with your dog. But for example, in Finland, they have like official. So they have very strict rules, like you can't drink or anything during doing agility. But here is more like fun with dogs still.
Sure. And you mentioned quite some different countries there already. So what countries is agility really well known in, and maybe is agility then also becoming more popular in Ireland?
So I would say like the best countries in agility are definitely Germany, Czech Republic, Austria, I think Spain has lots of continental mostly, yeah. UK in a couple of years started to be good as well, so yeah, it's definitely growing. But in Ireland we are still such a small group, and hopefully it will grow.
Well, that's the whole reason we need to talk about it more as well, isn't it? So once people understand what it is, I'm sure they'll be lots more interested in it as well. So realistically, is there national competitions going on? Are there local competitions going on? How does that look locally?
So in Ireland, you can actually compete under 4 different organizations. Also I split it because there is Northern Ireland and Republic of Ireland.
Sure.
So in Republic of Ireland, you can compete under IKC, Irish Kennel Club, or under Halitzana, which is a different club. They are doing agility more for fun than for some, some professional level competing.
Mm-hmm.
And in Northern Ireland, you can compete under UK Kennel Club, and they have a UKA agility, which is again different club for agility, but more for fun than for kind of serious competing.
Okay, so there sounds like there's something for everyone kind of in there as well. You know, there's different kind of styles and ways of looking at agility as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like most of the beginners, they're starting competing under the UKA or ITSA,
Mm-hmm.
because the courses are very, very easy, and the atmosphere is not that special. You know, they feel more relaxed, I think.
Sure, it's a good
But
entry point, right? Where it's
I
not,
think so. Yeah.
it's not focused so much on the rules, but it's a little bit more relaxed. You start off with the fun, and then automatically, like with any hobby, you start getting more serious once you get into it. Or maybe not. Maybe you say this is a hobby as opposed to something I want to compete in. So that makes total sense. And talking about the dogs as part of the team, I know you mentioned the teams are normally a dog and a handler. For the dogs, can any dog participate in agility, or are there specific breeds that are better suited maybe to it?
Well, like of course you have breeds which are more agile, better, better. They have better flexibility. They have better learning skills. But I saw so many breeds. Like you have French bulldogs,
Mm-hmm.
bulldog, and I saw many French bulldogs competing in Europe. So I think it's for all breeds, but the best in each size are definitely like you have, for example, like in large dogs, you have collies, border collies,
Mm-hmm.
or Belgian shepherds. They're the best in their groups. There is in the small dogs, there are definitely Shelties, Shetland dogs,
Mm-hmm.
and terriers. All small terriers like Jack Russell Terrier, Persian Russell Terrier, Cairn Terrier. They're very good. And then you have like the middle sizes, medium and intermediate.
Mm-hmm.
Medium, there are definitely Cocker Spaniels
Mm-hmm.
on top levels, Shelties, bigger Shelties for sure, or Moody's. They're very good as well. Past few years, and intermediate is just weekly sizes, so whatever fits in there. So overgrown Sheltie or small collie, they are very, very fast. And poodles. They can fit in all categories.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah, and it sounds like there's a huge mix of dog breeds that are very commonly seen, and I'm sure there's loads that we didn't even cover. So that sounds like it's kind of open to any dog that maybe that could get excited about learning new tricks and new things. It's probably going to be the prerequisite. It's going to be the mindset of the dog, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, I think every dog is kind of trainable. It is just about the effort you put in them. Like, of course, it will be harder to train a greyhound than collie,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not impossible.
And like you mentioned, even with the French Bulldogs, I know they're very well known to be a stubborn breed and might not be the poster dog for the most trainable. But we've seen some potential ourselves, so we've never really done any agility with Ruby. But we've had some trainers show us some of their more agility style courses and just try out a couple of things with Ruby, and she's well able when she's interested. And of course, if there's a tasty treat on offer, it makes it all the more interesting. So I can definitely believe that lots of different breeds could be interested in something like agility. So we spoke about the breeds, but what about dogs of different ages or dogs maybe with different abilities, like a dog with a disability? How about them participating in agility training?
Okay, so the competitions are open here from 18 months of age.
Mm-hmm.
But like you can start even later, like if you have like 5, 6 years old dog, it doesn't matter, you are not able to train agility anymore. Basically there are no restriction about age. Like if you have very agile dog and he's a 10, you can still enter competition. That's not a problem. But there is definitely restriction for dogs which can't compete. There are blind dogs
Mm-hmm.
or dogs which has some physical disabilities. So, sore joints or a missing leg. And of course, pregnant bitches. And also, currently in Ireland, it's not possible to compete with females in heat.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you can still train them.
So usually, I'm guessing with all of these things together, it's more concentrating on the safety and the well-being of the dogs. It's trying to exclude anyone. It sounds more that it's a concern for the well-being of the dogs, like you said, with that might have joint pain, that might if they're pregnant, it's much more about their well-being, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's all about dog safety and health.
Yeah, which is brilliant to see. And what are the essential skills that a dog needs to start agility training?
Well, when you start training agility with your dog, you should definitely have a good connection with your dog. If you adopt a dog and you have him 2 weeks and you're going for agility training, most likely the dog won't be interested in anything because he will be very confused.
Mm-hmm.
So the connection between you two is essential. Then there is motivation for toys or treats. So you need to work with that. Like every dog is different. There are dogs which love to play with toys. There are dogs which are interested in treats. And there are dogs which are not interested in anything. They are just happy to do something with you. And the reward can be simply just, cuddles with you.
The attention, yeah, your attention is what they want.
Like every dog is different, and every dog loves different toys and different treats. I know dogs which are running agility on carrots. I know dogs which are running agility for sock.
Yeah.
Every dog has a different rewards.
Just like us humans, really, isn't it? They all have their own unique personalities.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, so it's the connection between you two. It's very important. Motivation for something, treats, toys, and of course, some recall would be nice if you're certain agility, because the dog should be able to come back to you.
Mm-hmm. Makes total sense. But I love how you started off with the relationship building as well, because I think for so many things that we're trying to do with our dogs, you have to start with building the relationship, right? I mean, without that, you get nowhere. So I love that your initial focus was to jump to the relationship. It's essential. And then looking at the obstacles. So on a normal course, I presume there's various different obstacles. Could you take us through what a course maybe looks like and help people to picture this?
All right, so if you are going to the competition, you are starting in the lower grades, and you can expect 15 till 22 obstacles on a course. There are jumping obstacles, there are tunnels, and there are contact obstacles. So jumping obstacles can be just simple hurdles, but also spread jump, which is like 2 poles after in a row. Like it's like one jump but made from 2 poles. There is long jump, which is on the floor. It's from 1 to 4 elements, and tire or wall. Every obstacle should be safe, should be able to break if the dog hits it, so you don't need to worry that they will hurt themselves. And in the past few years, these obstacles are made like wall and long jump. They're made from foam, so they're very soft. So if the dog hits it, it's all right. They won't hurt themselves. Then we have funnels. They can be from 3 to 6 meters long. And then we have contact obstacles, which is A-frame, dog walk, and seesaw. And I almost forgot the most favorite obstacle of my dogs is weaves.
Okay. As in weaving in and out of...
Yeah, they are weaving between... the weaves has 12 poles, and they need to weave between them.
Sure, yeah. So, talking about the different obstacles in an agility course, let's say your dog has never seen one of these before. How do you train a dog to navigate these different obstacles for the very first time?
Well, I would say like every training should start at home. You don't need to have like full set of agility equipment to train your dog for agility. Like when I'm starting training agility with my puppies, I'm not using any agility obstacles until probably 15 months of age. I'm using just cones, some small targets. I'm using even trees. Whatever I can use for the handling, teaching them what to do on the obstacles, I can do without obstacles.
Of course.
So I think it's much more important to teach them to understand what they are doing with their body than teach them run through the tunnels, because I know many dogs, they love tunnels. They see it for the first time as their favorite obstacle, so it's not really necessary to train it every week since a puppy, because you're most likely training bad behavior than good one.
Okay, true, yeah. That can happen as well. That's true. And are there a lot of challenges then that both dogs and owners face when they start agility?
Depends on the training and of course the trainer, because like for example in my classes I love to start training agility with individuals. I don't like to do groups if they're introduced to agility, because for dogs it can be very overwhelming. The other dogs, because the other dogs are excited, they want to sniff them, they want to play with them, and usually the owners are very, very nervous because, they don't know what to expect. So, yeah, if they're going for training, there are very few obstacles for them to challenge. Like, it's other dogs, it's smells. Definitely different smells, because most of the trainings are done outside, so you most likely they most likely can see some mice or rabbits or something, so it's very hard for them to to get used to different environments. And if you are entering competition for the first time, it's like 100 times harder, because there is hundreds people, hundreds dogs, and noises and smells and everything. So that's kind of big challenges, but again, you can train it without agility even. You can just go with your dog to the town, again, used to the noises, get used to the dogs, get used to the smells and people.
And I love that you kind of focused as well on the individuality here, because I think every dog is going to have a different pace at how comfortable they're going to be for each step of this journey as well. Like you said, it's not just the course or new obstacles, it's also challenging situations like being in an enclosed space with potentially, tens or hundreds of people and dogs. So I love that you're kind of taking an individual approach as well, just particularly at the beginning for getting these dogs used to the very first steps in agility.
I think it's more relaxing for the owners on the dogs as well, because I think most people, they are just thinking about being judged, from somebody, like, oh, my dogs, he doesn't know how to sit or how to wait, or he doesn't know how to go through the tunnel. And the individual lesson, I really recommend to every beginner to go and meet up with a trainer first time, just individually, because you will break the ice and you will get more relaxed, and that's very important for you and for your dog to enjoy the agility lessons.
It's true, and when you're beginning something new yourself, and you sometimes need the reassurance that you're doing things the right way, and even little guiding steps to say maybe slight changes to make things a little bit better and a little bit easier for everyone, that can make the world of a difference when you're training for something like this. So that sounds really, really good advice as well. And for dogs beginning agility, what are the main benefits of agility training for dogs?
I think like every dog is very happy to do something with their owners. And if you start training agility with them, they just simply love everything what you do together. It doesn't matter, if you are doing just jumps or just tunnels. They just love to do something with you. And if they are getting treats and toys from it, even better. So the benefit is definitely your relationship is getting stronger. And
Absolutely.
also the physical side of you and your dog, because there is lots of running. So you will be fitter.
That's
Your dog will be fitter. So that's positive as well.
They sound like really, really good benefits, particularly that you're getting the mind and the body working together, and you're working on that relationship or the bond between you and your dog. So that they all sound like really, really big positives. And actually, that was going to be my next question anyway: is how important is this bond between the dog and the handler when it comes to competitions?
I think it's very important. Of course, you have dogs which are able to run agility with anybody else. Like my dog, she loves agility mostly, like more than me. So she will be able to run agility with anybody else, everybody. But most dogs, they're just tied to their owners, so they love to do the agility just with them because it's their thing. They are doing that thing together. So it's very important to have a strong bond. Otherwise, if you're going for a competition and your bond is not strong enough, the dog will be interested more in other people, other dogs, other smells, and they will run off from the course, which is not really pleasant for you because you will be nervous what is going on. So the bond is very important to work on before you are going to the competitions.
Sure. And then I suppose, is agility training, or can agility training help with the dog's behavior in general and their obedience outside of the agility course?
If you are working on it properly, yes. But I think that is the same in every dog sport. If you are doing something just for getting the dog tired, but you're not really working on the basics, you can't expect that the behavior will be better. Especially if you're training just for winning the rosette, but not for getting better. It's most likely won't be any difference.
Sure.
You know,
But
it,
if you're focusing on the important bits, like you mentioned, the foundations. So if you're focusing on building a great relationship with your dog, building up the trust, the bond, and working together really as a team, I think, right, it's going to be really positive for your
definitely,
relationship.
definitely. Like if you're working on the basics, like recall and staying in the position where you want your dog to be, and your connection, so your dog will be focusing on you and ignoring anything else around you. Of course, your training and your obedience will be much, much better. And mostly, if you're going to do agility competition, you will meet the dogs which are well behaved or well trained, at least.
True.
So, definitely, if you're going for a competition, for agility competition, you will meet the well-trained dogs, because you must have the training done before you are going for a competition. Otherwise, it's pointless to go.
Sure. But so if people are beginning this journey and they're training at home, what kind of basic equipment do you think is needed, or what's beneficial to set up a basic course at home?
Well, when I was starting with agility, I created I created my own cars just from from broomstick. From broomstick, and I put like small tarp over some some fences, so I created like small tunnels. So definitely, if you just wanna just do something for fun, you can create the obstacles by yourself. But if you wanna just start training properly, you don't need to buy any equipment. You just need to buy some props which will be helpful for training itself. So for example, if you will be training turns on jumps, you don't need to have jumps for the beginnings. You just need to have a cone. If you need to train the contacts, because on the contacts equipment you have zones which they need to touch when they are running on and off. So you can train these positions on the target. You can train just, step on the target. You don't need to have like the whole A-frame and whole dog walk, because it's bloody expensive to have it. And
Sure.
of course you can buy some cheap tunnel from Aldi or Lidl, but you need to think that they are very cheap because the material is not good. And it can be, it can be destroyed really easily. So I would say for beginnings, just for basics, you need just have some target, which is something which is a little bit higher than floor. So you can even have a piece of carpet, which you will be training, stepping on. Then you need to have a cone. You can buy some football cone in some sport shops, or I was using even for small dogs. You can use even like full water bottle.
Okay. Yeah.
So they just need to go around something. You just need to teach them to go around something. So you can use whatever is around you. It can be a bottle of water. It can be a tiny tree or something. You can use your imaginations for this training. And if you want to train on the obstacles later on, I would definitely recommend to go for some trainer, for some proper agility training, because you need to have safe obstacles, and safe obstacles are not cheap.
that makes sense. That makes total sense. So getting creative, trying to make some of your basic obstacles at home and some basic tools at home, and then contacting a trainer to get you through the first steps. And when competitions are going on, are these often public events? Like, could someone that's interested in seeing what it's all about, could someone join? Or is maybe YouTube a good resource? Or where do people kind of see what this community is all about?
Well, if you want to enter a competition just as a visitor, you can definitely go to the Facebook site. We have Facebook groups, which are every competition is announced there, with the place and who is the judge and kind of information. So you can definitely visit every competition which is going on in Ireland. But if you just wanna watch, you have full YouTube of many competitions. The most internationally known is obviously Crusts, Agility on Crusts. They have really good cameras and really good videos from these competitions. But even if you just put in the YouTube some Agility World Championship or something, you can see really good base from the top handlers in the world.
That sounds amazing, and I know exactly what I'm doing after this talk. I'm heading to YouTube to find some brilliant videos on what agility is all about. Thank you so much for coming on, Petra. That was absolutely fantastic, listening all about what agility could do for dogs, and I love how it as a community you guys are really focusing on building the bonds between a dog and their handler, and the relationship side of things, and having fun. It sounds like so much fun, and exercising at the same time as well. So thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So once again, a huge thank you to Petra for coming on and teaching me all there is to know, or at least scratching the surface, on the topic of dog agility. And if you'd like to find out more about Petra's work, we have added her socials and her website to the show notes. And here we've also added some extra resources that you can find out some more information about what dog agility is all about. You can also find our socials, and feel free to like and subscribe and follow and do all of that good stuff on our profiles as well. And if you would like to support us as a small business, you can head over to ruby-reese.com. That's it for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I really look forward to seeing you next Tuesday.